Hello and welcome to my channel, Food Brainwash. The aim of my channel is to boost your cooking knowledge through a wide variety of different cooking tutorials and food science animations and past exam paper videos. If that sounds like your cup of tea, then please subscribe. Today we're going to make a pattern Swiss roll. Let's begin by getting our ingredients together for the pattern. Cream together the margarine and caster sugar. It's ready when it's become a lighter colour. Separate the egg as we're only going to use the white. The yolk is yellow, it will cause problems when we mix the colours later. Sift the flour in. Of course you can use the larger sieve. I chose to use a small one and it made a giant mess everywhere of the flour. Keep mixing until it's all incorporated. Add any flavour you like here, just make sure it doesn't add any colour to the batter, as this will affect the final outcome. Now divide it into 2 ramekins or 2 dishes. Now we're going to choose our colours. So I'm going to add about 2 or 3 drops of this nice blue and 2 drops of green. After filling the piping bags, twist the top so the icing doesn't come out. Here's my blue and green. I also created lots of many other colours. It's time now to make the cake. We're going to begin by piping out the pattern that you have chosen or that you have created using Canva. I'll make another video on how to create a pattern at a later date. Make sure you secure your pattern in place before you start piping. Mistakes can happen at any time when you're piping, but just use a spatula to remove the batter. Give it a wipe if it needs and just repipe it. No problem. Make sure that you change colours as it adds interest to your pattern. By filling in the design with extra details like kisses and yellow dots, it can make the pattern come to life. When you're done, place the pattern in the freezer until it sets. So now you're going to whisk together your caster sugar and your 4 eggs on high speed until it is ready. How do we know it's ready? We do something called a ribbon test, which you'll find out a little bit more later in the video. If you don't have access to a stand mixer, you can use a hand mixer like I've shown you in the top left corner. We do the ribbon test to make sure that when we drizzle the batter over, it stays on top. In both cases here, neither of the batters are ready. You can optionally add both flavour and colour to your cake if you want. I used a nice light pink colour for the top one, and I kept the lower one original. This ribbon test is telling me that my batter is about 1 or 2 minutes away from being ready because the batter is nearly staying on top. My last ribbon test proves that my batter is now completely ready. As you can see, when I pull it up, drizzle it over the top, it will stay on top, and you can see what I've done. After sifting the flour in, it's very important that when you combine the flour that you use a turning motion with the spoon, and remember to scoop all the way down to the bottom of the bowl, because pockets of flour can hide everywhere inside the batter. Keep doing this until there is no more flour pockets anywhere. You must do it gently so that you don't knock out any air. Remember to remove the tape and the pattern underneath before you pour in the cake batter. We don't want to cook the tape or the pattern. Remember to let the batter flow and then use a spatula to even the top out. That way you'll get a better definition on your cake. It's time to get the cake in the oven. Remember to put it in the middle shelf. That is the second one up from the bottom. In it goes. Use the plus and minus keys to reduce the time to 16 minutes. Whoa, that's hot. All that steam. Let's try again. Okay. Nope, still steaming up the camera. Let's move away a little bit, let the lens clear, and let's go back in and take our cake out. Ah, finally we can see. Remember to stop the beeping after you've finished by pressing that clock button. Put baking paper on top of a tea towel. Next, sprinkle, shake, 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 sprinkle some more until you have a nice even coating of sugar on top of your baking paper. This will help the cake to stop sticking to the paper after you flip it out of the tin. Flip the cake onto the paper and then carefully remove the paper. I always start at the edges, it makes it much easier. Then you can use a palette knife to pull the paper downwards and that will help the pattern stay in the cake rather than stick to the paper as shown here. Remove any excess sugar by brushing it off carefully. Next, you're going to start rolling it up. I've used the knife to make an indent to make it easier to start rolling. Use the paper and the towel to help you to roll the cake. If you just do it without that, you can risk cracking. Oh, by the way, I should mention, my cake is still warm at this point. Again, if you try and roll it when it's cold, you may find that it will crack. Unroll your cake again. It should have cooled by this point. Be careful the inside doesn't stick. Just unroll carefully, and now you're going to spread out your fruit filling and then spread your cream out on top. If you like, you can combine these two and put it in your cake. Re-roll your cake with the filling. Again, use the paper and the towel to help you roll. Try to make sure you get a nice even but tight roll inside. Your cake should not be flat. It should definitely be a round shape with a spiral design at the end. Carefully transfer your cake to a larger plate. Trim the ends off using a serrated knife or a bread knife. Please don't use a chef knife. You can dust your cake with icing sugar for an extra bougie effect. Always make sure the seam of the cake is underneath when you plate it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy making your Swiss roll.